Hey friends, hope you all are doing well and taking great care of yourselves. In this video, we are going to discuss the issue that can there be an addition on account of cash deposit where income has already been offered to tax by applying provisions of section 44 AD of the Income Tax Act. The issue came up before Honorable Amritsar ITAT and Honorable Amritsar ITAT while its decision dated 20th September 2022 following the decision of Honorable Punjab and Haryana High Court and Allahabad High Court decided the issue in favor of assessee, that assessee is under no obligation to explain each and every credit entry of cash deposit where the income has already been offered to tax by applying provisions of section 44 AD. In this case, department has argued that assessee has not established that assessee is carrying out a particular business. Despite this being the argument forwarded by the department, the Honorable ITET has, following the decision of Honorable Punjab and Haryana High Court and Allahabad High Court, has taken a view in favor of assessing. Before I, with due respect to the decision delivered by the authorities, before I give my views on this issue, let us first quickly go to what the Honorable Punjab and Haryana High Court and Allahabad High Court, on which reliance has been placed by Honorable Amritsar ITT, has to say. Let us first go to that particular judgment of Honorable Punjab and Haryana High Court. So here this is on your screen. What does the Punjab and Haryana High Court has to say? In the case of Surinder Pal Anand, 2010 192 taxman.com 264, the Honorable Court says that once under the special provision, exemption from maintaining of books of account has been provided and presumptive tax at the rate of 8% of the gross receipt itself is the basis for determining the taxable income, the assessee was not under obligation to explain individual entry of cash deposit in the bank account unless such entry has no nexus with the gross receipt. The word important here is no nexus with the gross receipt, meaning thereby I am not obliged to give justification for individual entry of cash deposit provided I prove that this particular cash deposit has got nexus with the gross receipt. So establishing the fact that this cash deposit has nexus with gross receipt, it is still a responsibility which the assessee has to discharge. The responsibility is the burden of establishing that this cash deposit is with gross, this cash deposit has nexus with the gross receipt of that eligible business. That proof, that onus is to be discharged by the assessee first. Unless that is being done, this judgment, in my opinion, cannot come to the rescue of the assessee. Let us also go to what Allahabad High Court has to say here. In the case of Nitin Soni, 2012 21 taxman.com 447, the Allahabad High Court goes this way. The very purpose and the idea of enactment of provisions like section 44AE is to provide basis for hassle-free proceedings. Such provisions are made just to complete the assessment without further probing, provided the condition laid down in such enactment are fulfilled. Meaning that by the fundamental conditions are required to be fulfilled. So if I am offering my income to tax by applying 44 AD, I am an eligible assessee doing an eligible business. That is something I have to prove anyhow. If I can't prove that, then this sections or this judgment will not come to my rescue. So such an the presumptive income which may be less or more taxable, such an assessee is not required to maintain any account books. This being so, even if its actual income in a given case is more than income calculated as per subsection 2 of section 44 AE, it cannot be taxed. So now one can say that by referring to these two judgments, that it is the duty of the assessee to prove that I am an eligible assessee and doing an eligible business. I can prove it by so many ways. I'm not supposed to maintain books of accounts. I'm not supposed to give the stock records. I'm not supposed to give individual the expenditure invoice of each and every item. But at least I can prove that I am registered with a trade union, which goes to prove that I am doing that particular eligible business. I am registered under VAT, state VAT, if, the relevant VAT act under that state. If it is an old matter, or let's say under GST act, I may be registered under Professional Tax Act, I may be registered under Shop and Establishment. Somewhere I am registered, which goes to prove that I am doing that business. I can give the affidavit of my neighbors, which goes to prove that that I am particularly carrying out this business. At least I can take the photographs of that particular inventory which I may be having, and I can upload that, and I can prove that I am doing a business. So fundamentally, I am an eligible assessee and I am eligible business. This condition is still to be fulfilled, and if that gets fulfilled once, then no addition can be made on account of cash deposit in bank account. Let me again take you to this particular judgment. Now in this particular case, let us go to the argument of DR. The learned senior DR vehemently argued and relied on the order of the revenue authorities. As per the order of CITA, the learned senior DR has mentioned that the assessee was not registered under the state in direct tax, and no bills and vouchers are was produced, and the payment was not linked with the party, but no contrary judgment was placed before the bank. So despite it was somewhere attempted to be argued by the department that the fact that assessee is doing a particular business has not been proved, despite that has been attempted to be argued, but once again Honorable ITT found it appropriate to decide this issue in favor of assessee by holding that assessee is not required to justify each and every cash deposit in the bank account, since department was not able to give any contrary ruling. Now, in my respectful submission, as conveyed earlier as well, that these two judgments of Punjab and Haryana High Court and Allahabad High Court are very clear that it is the duty on the part of the assessee to establish that the fundamental conditions are being fulfilled, and once these conditions are being fulfilled, once it is established that the alleged cash deposits have got nexus with the gross receipts which has already been offered to tax under section 44 AD, then I am given the relaxation in the form that I am not supposed to establish, or I am not supposed to give justification for each and every credit entry. Otherwise, it is my duty to prove that I am an eligible assessee doing an eligible business. So if that gets proved, in that case, no separate addition can be made. Of course, meanwhile, we can rely on the decision of this Amritsar ITAT as well as the decision of the Punjab and Haryana High Court and Allahabad High Court. The decision of Amritsar ITAT is in the case of Sarabjit Singh, ITA number 714 of 2019, and it is delivered on 20th September 2022. Hope friends, you really enjoyed this videos. If you have any suggestions, queries, submissions, please do share that with me. You can also advise me how I can make my content better. You can also suggest the topics on which I should come up with the videos. It would be a pleasure dealing with your suggestions and advice to the extent I can. So friends, please take care of yourselves. Thank you very much. Wishing you all a great time ahead. Thank you very much.